What's up guys, my name is Aaron and today I'm going to be reviewing Easy. This is a Netflix original show. It's a dramedy anthology series. It's created by Joe Swanberg. He's the director of movies like Drinking Buddies and Digging for Fire. This show is about a bunch of adults that are living in Chicago. It kind of explores themes of love, life, sex, relationships, things like that. Things that people are going through. And the cast is crazy. There's a bunch of really funny people, really good actors. I don't really want to name all of them. I'm probably going to put that in the description. Yeah, there are a lot of really great actors on the show. I was excited for the show because I'm a big fan of Joe Swanberg. I really love his style that he does with movies. He has a really natural way of doing real life. His dialogue is really natural and really lifelike, so I really like seeing his movies. And I feel like he always brings a really cool cast in all of his movies, so that's always pretty cool. And he definitely brought both of those aspects to this show. I was really excited for this, and this definitely lived up to my expectations. I thought this was a pretty great show. I do love the vibe of this. It's very laid back and really chill, kind of easygoing like the title of the show. The show is very lax and you really do get a peek into these people's lives. There's an episode where a couple has a threesome. The last 10 minutes of it is really intimate and it's really specific. I love that kind of intimacy that the show provides. And I feel like the show is pretty funny. It's not overly funny, there's not a lot of jokes and stuff, but I feel like the dialogue is really realistic in a sense that people would actually say this in real life, and kind of hearing these people say it in the show is pretty cool. Like all Joe Swanberg's movies, dialogue is really interesting and really lifelike. Joe Swanberg is a mumblecore director. It's kind of a specific comedy drama subgenre where he kind of has an outline for the script and kind of has an outline for what's supposed to happen in each scene, but he kind of lets the actors kind of develop their own dialogue. So it's just kind of the actors kind of just talking and just being really lifelike, and I do like that. It comes across as actual people having a real conversation, as opposed to a lot of movies where the dialogue kind of feels really scripted. This show doesn't feel that scripted to me. And I feel that the cinematography is pretty great. It's pretty subtle for the most part, but it's effective, and I do like the shots of Chicago, how it goes around the city and stuff, and you do get a good sense of the local spots and kind of the cool sections of the town. The vibe, or kind of the atmosphere of the show, is really great, and I do like the themes too. It really talks about a lot of relevant stuff. There are some episodes that talk about love, like this married couple that kind of want to put a spark in their relationship again, and this woman who's kind of in turmoil about what she wants in a relationship as well. There's also some stories about finding out who you are as a person. There's one about this actress who just broke out of a relationship, and there's a story about these two brothers who are making a legal brewery. Those episodes, that two-parter episode, I feel like that's my favorite of the entire show. This show really explores life in a really good detail. The show is kind of focused on smaller things, but it makes it a little more relatable, the way that the show approaches these things. The actors, I don't really need to say anything. If you look at the cast, you'll know that you're gonna get pretty good acting throughout. Mbatha-Raw, I feel like she was pretty great as this woman who just got out of a relationship. She was an actress, and she was just kind of figuring out what she wanted out of life. She's seeing all these expectations put on her as a single woman and stuff, and I feel like that her story was really interesting. I feel like Mark Maron was pretty good as this hypocritical asshole writer in his episode, but I feel like Dave Franco was the real kind of breakout of the show. His character in the show had a lot of different emotions and stuff, and I felt like he handled that pretty well. Think of Dave Franco more as a comedy dude. I've seen movies like Neighbors, 21 Jump Street, movies like that, and I feel like this was the first role that he really got to do a lot of real acting, and I feel like he handled that really well, and I kind of want to see him in more dramas because I feel like his acting here was really good. And even though Aya Cash from You're the Worst, she didn't get a lot to do in her character, I felt like her role as this pregnant wife who is being kind of ignored and kind of not taken seriously by her husband, I felt like she added a lot to that character and made it really watchable. But I just feel like she's a really watchable and really good actress anyway. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of really good actors in the show, and most of the storylines are really suited for them and to their talents and stuff. The thing that I didn't like about the show is that some actors really didn't get a lot to do. Jake Johnson is one of my favorite actors out right now. I love him in New Girl. I love him in Joe Swanberg movies, but here he's really only in 2 scenes, and he's legit like Skyped in, and it just really feels like a waste of his talents. He's a really talented actor, and I was really disappointed to see him in that smaller role. Hannibal Buress, who is my favorite comedian out right now, his role could have been played by anybody else. It's really not a specific role that Hannibal Buress needs to do. It's just kind of like a generic role to me, and I felt like kind of a waste to see Hannibal Buress in this role. Or if Hannibal Buress was kind of given a different role that he's not really known for, I felt like him having like more dramatic weight would, you know, be cool. But this character was just kind of a bland character to me, and I felt like Hannibal Buress is kind of wasted in this role. Some episodes weren't as good as other episodes. I felt like the Mark Maron episode wasn't that great as compared to the entire show. I felt like Mark Maron and Emily Ratajkowski, I felt like they did a good job in the episode, but I felt like just the themes and what the episode was about wasn't really that interesting. I kind of felt like it was a little bit convoluted and kind of messy. But overall, those are kind of minor issues that I had with the show, because I even felt like that episode was decent. I felt like this show was great. I loved it. I love the chill vibe down to the like realistic, naturalistic writing. I love the mature themes that it discusses in the show. I love how like kind of in-depth it goes about these different things, and the acting here is across the board pretty great. Some of the actors kind of got to play characters that they don't really get to play, and I felt like they handled that pretty well. I felt like some actors were kind of neglected in the show, and I felt like some episodes weren't as good as the other episodes, but overall I did love this show. I would give this an A-. I think the replay value for the show is going to be crazy because it's like pretty much short films, so you kind of just rewatch episodes that you really did like. My favorite episodes were about the Brewery Brothers. I feel like those episodes are the ones that I'm definitely going to be rewatching and stuff because I really like those episodes. I feel like if you like shows like Love, Master of None, or Atlanta, you would like this show because it's kind of indie film vibe to it. So if you kind of like that type of feeling, adults navigating their life in these big cities and stuff, I feel like this is definitely up your valley. It's just like a Chicago spin on that trope. So what did you guys think? Did you like the show? Did you hate the show? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks guys.